All right, let's talk about winning in business. Ultimate winning in business is when everybody wins. But let's first talk about pirates. Do you know what pirate's favorite letter in the alphabet is? R. Of course, it's R. Right? One of the most notorious pirates to ever exist, Francis Drake, started his journey, voyage with a noble cause, with a noble mission. The mission was exploration. Elizabeth, Queen of England, has sponsored his trip for the purposes of finding new lands, discovering new water passages, and establishing new trade routes. But Queen Elizabeth and Drake had a not so noble secret desire, a secondary mission to get rich fast at the expense of Spanish colonies in South America. In fact, the only exploration that Drake and his men conducted on their journey was figuring out what valuable cargo was carried on Spanish ships that they came across and what they can loot from Spanish colonies in South America, on the Atlantic coast of South America. Upon finding out of Drake's actions, the Spanish Navy went after him. But Drake was hard to catch, and he continued to sink Spanish ships and loot and kill innocent people. In trying to get away from Spanish Navy, he decided to cross the Strait of Magellan onto the Pacific side of South America. See, back then, seamen believed in this concept of northern passage, basically a waterway that takes you from Pacific Ocean back to the Atlantic Ocean, roughly across the entire modern United States. There's no such thing, and so Drake never found the northern passage. But he found California. Drake loved California and claimed it for England. At some point in rough weather, Drake's ship ran aground. Now he needed to lose some of that loot to get the ship to refloat. So he dropped some spices, specifically cloves. Cloves don't really weigh much, so the ship was still stuck. So what did he do next? He dropped 2 cannons, and the ship refloated. It was great news, with one exception. Can't go back the way he came, because he can't face Spanish Navy with 2 cannons missing. So Drake thought for a minute, and he said, you know, I think the world is round. So let me cross the Pacific Ocean, and then cross the Indian Ocean, and then come around Africa and come home that way. And he did. He completed a 2-year voyage and was only the 2nd captain to circumnavigate the Earth by sea. That's an exploratory trip, right? So let's tally up Drake's trip, Drake's voyage, right? The noble mission of making the world a better place through exploration. Big fat check mark. Oh, he discovered new lands, specifically California. He traded with new tribes in Pacific and found new waterways. This is awesome, right? What about the evil mission? Oh yeah, 20 tons of silver and gold made Queen Elizabeth 4,600% richer than she was. But at what expense? Hundreds of innocent lives lost. 38 Spanish ships sunk. And lots of valuables stolen or thrown overboard. Effectively, Drake caused a war between England and Spain. That caused lots of other losses of life and lots of other damages. It's a cost-prohibitive proposition. Now, we're here at Babson, #1 school for entrepreneurs. Let me ask, is your next idea about a noble mission to make the world a better place? Or are you actually secretly trying to get rich fast at someone else's expense? You see, traditional or old school business models are based exactly on a win-loss scenario. Someone has to win. In order to win, someone else has to lose. Business leaders draw their inspiration from sports and military. Well, of course, in sports and military, the only way to win is to have someone else lose, but business is a victimless activity. In fact, today, The economies of the global economies are so interconnected that causing harm to one party creates this chain reaction that causes further harm to unintended parties, humans, and organizations and governments. In fact, in most cases, it comes back and hurts the originator, right? We don't have to go far for an example of how win-loss strategy just doesn't work. We can take a look at what's been happening in the fast food industry. The traditional fast food restaurants are locked in this tug of war for customers, for market share, right? In the meantime, you've got health fast food restaurants, the new entrants, offering lower calories and smaller portions, and in most cases better pay for their employees and better benefits, and sustainable sourcing and fair trade sustainable ingredients and fair trade sourcing, right? Now, the customers love this idea of all-win business model, and what do? They vote with their wallets. Now, you tell me, does the strategy of traditional fast food restaurants, the win-loss strategy, is that working? Okay. Let me give you another example. Do you guys go to concerts? Oh, right. So you probably use this online ticket reseller that I'm not going to mention, right? That plays a win-loss game for sure, right? What do? They spend most of their energy, exert most of their energy on trying to maintain the large market share that they have. So they're playing a win-loss with their competition. But they're also playing win-loss with customers. They overcharge us customers. Actually, they also mistreat their supply chain, suppliers, their artists. Their venues aren't the cleanest places, but they don't have an environmental program. In fact, I hear that there's a Babson grad that has a startup that aims to disrupt this particular retailer, the ticket retailer. Exactly. Yeah. Great stuff. Right? By comparison, on your right is a business that operates a win-for-all model. Right? They don't care about market share. They probably do it on some level, but they don't have a specific effort to win market share. They believe they can attract customers by offering them great prices on amazing products. And what do customers get out of this relationship? They get great prices on amazing products. Their customers are raving fans, including myself. Right? Their suppliers, what do the suppliers get? A partnership for mutual success. What does the environment get? Well, the wholesale club has a program with a clear goal of reducing their carbon footprint by 39%. And moreover, the wholesale club actually rates as one of the best places to work in the United States, has been ranking for a while. So which model do you prefer? Is it the win for all, or is it a win-loss model? Hopefully, it's the win for all, right? Let's go back to your business plan, right? How do you make sure that your business plan, in fact, is a win for all kind of plan? Well, there's 3 steps outlined out here. To make it easy for pirates to remember, I started each step with the letter R. So the first one is reframe. You really want to focus on the noble mission and not on the money. Focusing on money leads you down a dark alley where someone's about to get hurt. But focusing on an actual mission will eventually bring financial results. The second R is for research. You can figure out who else can benefit from your new business idea. Maybe as employees, you can recruit veterans. Maybe your product could be made out of recycled materials. The possibilities are endless. The third R is for risk assess. You want to make sure that you find all the possible victims of your business and figure out a way not to hurt them, right? You don't want to, the last place you want to find the picture, your mugshot is on the cover of Wall Street Journal next to an article that says that your business has depleted the last world's supplies of some rare mineral, or that your product is widely used by human traffickers, right? You don't want to risk assess because you don't want to have victims. In fact, it's really easy to spot a win-loss business. They use the word squeeze a lot. They try to squeeze better productivity out of their employees. They try to squeeze more of a wallet share out of their customers. They try to squeeze their suppliers for better pricing. They try to squeeze their tax liabilities by exploiting loopholes, legal loopholes. By comparison, for all business models talk about expansion, first and foremost, they expand the market by offering new products and new services. But then they expand employee pays and benefits. They expand their relationships, their mutually beneficial relationships with suppliers. They expand their social responsibility programs. And what do their competitors have to do? They have to start or improve their own social responsibility programs. Now we're talking about expanding a positive impact from an entire industry. You see, expand is the new normal. Business is a victimless activity. It's not military, it's not sports, and it's not piracy. Winning for all parties is the ultimate kind of winning in business. Thank you.